the law tested him by asking, "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" He said to him, "Lord."
Once in a while, I would get a question, "Father, what do you do all day after saying Mass?"
先是怎么会有两个
Until a family
现在是那迪肯的
who's
念
not
卡
Catholic,
念经？
they bid last year to spend a day with me and see how I do things and what I do. After half day, they say, "Thank you very much, Father, now we know." So they drop in between. One of the works that I have to do is to take care of the temporal goods of the parish, meaning all the facilities, people, and administration aspect of a parish.
一餐一餐，
Gina, our business manager, normally would have a stack this thick throughout the week for me, either to approve or to sign them.
啊，
Occasionally, I would turn the page and see so-and-so with their ID on it with a short description of what they need.
12点左
It
右。
turns out the people here in the city of Fremont
对，
reached out to St. Joseph asking for support, paying their bills, paying their electrical bills that they in no way could afford, asking for gas money. Deacon Dick Bayless and I and a few others have helped to make it happen, thanks to Sister Mary John Pantry. We continue to help hundreds of people throughout the year. And if you go to Mass here daily, occasionally you would see sets of rocks lining up perfectly.
Yeah.
And underneath them, the little plastic
Yeah.
bag.
啊，韩国烤
They are not just rocks and plastic bags, they are human.
天
Because by noon,
吃还是
from noontime to 1 o'clock, you would see 12 or 20 or 30 people getting in line. Those rocks, they place there ahead of time, so they know what number where they should get in line to get the food. If you walk in St. Vincent de Paul, you would see 120, 130 boxes, little lunch bags every day or so. They would set it out there and ready to be delivered. And occasionally on Sunday, after Mass, maybe you notice a group of Vincentians that would gather over there at the end of the church. They would unload a lot of fruits, vegetables, and dry goods also. So throughout the month or a year, our parish community engaged in a lot of works of mercy and charity. Why is it so important for us? Why is it so important for me to share with you today? Because, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to work backward. In order to fulfill the first and most important commandment, you have to love God above all things, with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength. We cannot do that without first loving our brothers and sisters in need. 10 commandments structure in a way that first, the relationship with God, the first 3 commandments. And the fourth one has to do with our family, specifically our parents. And the last 6 commandments has to do with our neighbor. How are we going to treat them? Are we going to be honest, or are we going to cheat, or are we going to commit adultery? Are we going to lie? Are we going to commit murder? Are we going to be generous, or are we coveting their goods? All of this relationships, my dear brothers and sisters. If we say, "I love you, God," and at the end in Matthew 25, when our Lord meets you and I at the gate and say, "Have you fed my naked and hungry brothers and sisters?" If the answer is no, we're going to be out there, not in the banquet. If we are not visiting prisoners, if we are not helping those in need, then we're going to be like the rich man who had forgotten Zacchaeus, Lazarus at his front door. Or we may have a chance. So, my dear brothers and sisters, if our Lord, the invisible God, made himself visible, therefore our invisible love and faith of God has to be manifested in a concrete actions. We have to do that. Exercise with the mind won't give us the big muscle. Exercise with the mind won't give us a strong, healthy body. Exercise with the bodies, with weight, with walking and really physical engagement, then we could become physically healthy. Spiritually speaking, our soul, our spiritual muscles need to be exercised by the works of love, mercy, and charity. We are very generous here in this parish. So a lot of people engage in this beautiful works, but only 30%. We still have 70% of our people have not yet participated, nor one way or another, they are not to step up and involved. If we only participate by 30% by now, we already have tremendous impact. Just name a few, at least 4,000 or 5,000 last year. At least 2,000 Vietnamese families and 800 orphan kids have been supported. At least a school in Ghana has been built thanks to our generosity. At least $100,000 has been sent to multiple places like Ukraine, Syria, Iraq, and potentially Hawaii, and perhaps this coming Israelis and those who are being affected by the recent war in Middle East. So it's wonderful to say, Lord, I love you. It's wonderful to say, I have to keep all the commandments. And yet, at the end, our Lord did not ask, how many commandments have you kept? What church are you going to? He's going to ask, how well have you manifested my love for you in your works of mercy? Have you cared for the poor? Have you visited me? Have you prayed? Have you engaged? If the answer is no, the mountain of faith won't matter. A listless prayer won't matter. May God grant us the strength and courage to love what we could see with our eyes, help with our hands, and places that we could go with our feet. Only then can we hold the good Lord, can we walk into the heavenly kingdom, can we have him in our heart.